We're live now. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's Pillars of Eternity, not Nier Automata. That was yesterday. Still on YouTube. I just haven't had the time. Darkest Dungeon has been giving me the worst time. No, I've had a lot of fun, but, well, it's also I've had a lot of trouble. So, I'm live now. Things seem to be showing up over here. So, welcome on in, everybody. Welcome, Harry, and thank you very much for the compliment. And Jung as well. Jung said that last stream. And my bitrate went up. Apparently, when I am on a that other blue screen, it doesn't go higher bitrate. This one does. Good. Good stuff. And Bruno, welcome on in. How's it going? How is it going on the other side of the world? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get going. Where are we? We are in a, there's apparently people fighting here. I'm not really sure what's going on. But we are in Air Glenfath, and we are in a tavern called the Celestial Sapling. And this reminds me of a place in Baldur's Gate 2, but I don't remember what it is. So let's go in here and have a chat with everybody. And just see, what is this? This unusual stone pulses with warmth. I don't know what it's meant to be. It's not Adra. It's something. Looks kind of cool. We got hunters and all the Glenfathan people over here. Eleutherion Haggard Shoes is his name. Oh, shit, sure. It's fine, Harry. You have a problem with a piece... Oh. Rendering a video and watching Twitch. Yeah, that probably will work. Not very good. Speaking of which, am I moving properly on this side? I think I am. So, all the encoding and things that happened last stream just are gone. There it is. There's my hand waving. That's the delay, by the way, on my side.
Hello.
A middle-aged elven man stands behind the counter of the inn. He has a warm, open face and smiles pleasantly in a greeting as you approach. I am always glad to see a new face. Take a seat where you like, my friend. It seems you've walked a long road. All are welcome here, and those with interesting stories most welcome of all. Interesting, actually, because this city has been unwelcome. Not to the maximum, I guess, but it hasn't been very welcoming of us. So, who are you? My name is Eleutherion, whatever. They call me Haggard Shoes because it's easier to say as well, for all the walking I used to do, and all the boots I wore down. But those days are well behind me. My eyes have seen a great deal, and now my ears get their fill from the travelers who come through here. I'm always glad to see a new face. Okay, tell me about this place. Of course, I founded the inn many years ago, but in many ways its tale begins much earlier. It was while I was returning from a long journey south that I first heard the story of the tree upon which this inn sits or rests. Because there it is, yeah, or atop of a tree. Hundreds of years ago, a strange event occurred. The sky was troubled that night, with many stars falling across the sky, and one of those stars began to plummet instead towards Eora. It fell here, striking a young tree and burying itself within it like a fiery heart. Oh, come on, don't tell me this is an important thing. But the tree survived, and over the years it grew and grew and grew, twice as big as its fellow in half the time, until it reached the size you see now and grew no more. Hearing the tale, I knew I must find the truth, and you see it there. He gestures to the thing at the center of the room. Around the tree's heart, I built this inn to welcome all travelers who might look upon it. I am always glad to see a new face. Yes, tell me what you have for sale. Thank you very much. And you have a Spirit Spiral for extra melee damage. Not too bad. Hot evening of autumn. Well, yeah, hot. That's not good. I mean, it's cold here, so I would like a hot evening. But then again, to be honest, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't have pens then, because it's bad. Two computers now working at the same time. Now that's gonna make summers a little bit uncomfortable here. I really need to get away some air conditioning in my room or something, because I don't. And well, let's hope that global warming. No, actually, it's not global warming. It's climate change. That's how it's probably said. Let's hope that it makes this next summer a little bit colder out of any freak thing. And this is indeed what he was referring to, this sort of meteor-looking thing. It's not actually... I don't think it looks like a meteor, but then again, I don't actually know how meteors look like. I thought they looked like... they become eroded? Because that's what happens when a meteor comes in. And just the air sort of erodes it. Erodes it? Yeah. Oh, and these are the monks. And we have a mission here. We have... Oh, boy. It's very clear what's going to happen, isn't it? So, to recap... We got a, we saw a monk out in the middle of the forest. And the monk had a thing, he was dying basically because he was a dummy. It was his mistake. But he had a thing, he had like a box or a paper or something, and it told me to get that paper to these guys. And please don't open it because, well, it's terrible. Now, well, it's terrible if we open it. Now, we did open it. Very carefully, didn't break the seal, just we massaged many things, and those many things just went okay. And let's see, I have read the missive the monk carried. Here is what it said. This is important. Rejoice, seekers. And these seekers, actually, seekers, I'm mixing up, there's a term, seekers, in Divinity Original Sin 2, and that's not what they are, or that's not what these are. But I don't know who they are, actually. The judicious application... Oh, yeah, that's right. He likes torture and something. Loosen the tongue of our informant. The artifact we seek. They're looking for an artifact. It has recently been moved to Elm's Reach. It should be secured in a residence near the entrance of the settlement. So it should be out here. Interesting. The informant suggested it is likely stashed away under the floor. We have endured much in our pursuit of this hallowed relic. Soon our effort will come to fruition. The Council of Archmartyrs. Oh, these are the Archmartyrs, and these are whale priests or whale monks, most likely. Attacked by a Stelgar park. If they are martyrs, then I would assume they are whales, because whale is sort of god of vengeance or something. Do not fail us. So I don't want to deliver this. I actually want to inquire as to what these guys are doing here and what kind of thing they're doing. So, let's find out.
Hail and well met.
This room needs a proper door, he mutters. My brothers and I rented this place so that we may have some measure of privacy in this foreign land. Perhaps you could find another room here in the inn. Yeah. What brings your order to this place? We don't know what order they are from. Yeah. We travel where the teachings take us, the monk mutters, his voice slow and measured. Not that it is any of your business. Okay, tell me about you. He opens his mouth to answer and then swallows his words. He looks you up and down, carefully choosing his response. My brothers and I have a private discussion in a room we rented for our use. Please, there is a tavern full of people who would provide you with banter you seek. Yeah, I met another monk in robes like your own. He died of his wounds right as I found him. The monk's eyes widen, his fists curl in a cracking barrage of popping joints. Robes like ours, you say? Was he carrying anything? Did he tell you anything? Hand you anything? Please, we've been waiting for another of our order to meet us here if you found him. And all eyes fall on the floor, or fall to the floor as the monks begin to whisper chants in unison to their fallen friend. Let's trust them. Let's see what... I did save just before, so if I am not given the chance to kill these guys, or at least to understand what's going on... Let's see. You gave me this missive. Hand me that, a monk exclaims as he snatches the missive from your grasp. Almost immediately, his face turns red. I mean, please, this is of great importance. Breaking the seal, the monk unrolls the handwritten scroll contained within and quickly reads the message, his lips breathlessly mouthing the text, because he don't know how to read. He turns to address his brothers. My brethren, the Archmartyr has sent word. At long last, we now have what we need. Thank you, stranger. The monk says, folding his hand in front of him as he bows deeply. Your honest soul is to be applauded. I admit I was surprised when you handed me the message. I expected the seals to be broken. The monk turns red, his face smiling for the first time. I'm glad to see common decency is not yet lost from this world. And reaches into the folds of his robe. Here, your honesty must be rewarded. And he gave me... Ayla Brasha. That's an interesting shield. I could use that. I mean, it looks cool. I'm gonna use it for me. So, you have that. My defenses are 75. And then I put that over there. Oh, it goes down tremendously. What is that? Oh, because it's not enchanted. No, it is. It's got fine, but this is exceptional. For 8 shield deflection. This one, yeah. Ranged grazes reflected back at an attacker. Yeah. That's nice. That is nice, but I'm not gonna use it. I mean... Yeah, it's nice. I'm not going to use it. So, let's see. Yeah, the problem with the AC, it isn't very expensive, but the problem with the AC is really the electricity that it costs. But if I keep like things down to like an hour a day, it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, no, that's really the thing. A portable version, most likely, yeah. One for the whole house would... Actually, we have... No, we don't, actually. We have... the house has sort of central heating. There's pipes connecting the walls, but not for air-cool... For aircon. For some reason, I don't understand. I really don't understand why my family in general just doesn't have air conditioning. I don't have a single person in my family that has air conditioning. And it's weird, because I have, like, two families. There's my mother's side and there's my father's side. Well, sort of, you know what I mean. They don't know each other too well, because it's always like that. I think everybody's like that. 70 watt per square meter. So this room is about probably like 5 by 4. So 5 by 4, that is 20, which means that would be 1400 watt. That is crazy. That is crazy. 1400 watt. That is extremely expensive. But you know, for proper usage, it would be very, very expensive. But if I just keep it on for like an hour a day, it should be okay. Because really, it's only like when it's really, really hot. I guess I'll see what I can do. We have a mission over here. Sonia, no, we don't. What happened? What happened? Oh, the bandits. Okay, so let's kill these guys and see what this is all about. See if I can undo what I have done. This should go well. Heravius, get those in. And get these in. Ooh, that was a knockdown. Those are monks. Okay, and then get extra punching. That's going well. Let's get some of that in there. And I'm gonna get Mind Blades. That's for way away. So let's do that on that monk over there. You're not attacking me. You dummy. Heather, what do you have? Do you have a torn? Shut up. What are you moaning about? There's nobody trying to kill you. Okay, so let's cast Mind Plague. Now, at this point, it's a little bit late. Let's go with a Detonate. At this point, it's a little bit late, but still go with it.
That's for my friends.
Well, he blew up. Wasn't me, though. Was it? Salanumber killed the monk. It was. Okay, so. What exactly did that accomplish? I don't think it accomplished anything. No. But they have another one of these. I don't think the game wanted me to do that. I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to not give them the thing. Price of electricity, I think it's like 15 cents a kilowatt hour. Somewhere around those lines. Something, yeah. Depends on, and then you have, and then depends on how much power you actually can draw. So for us, it is like 15 cents, and we only have like 3.6 amps. 3.6. How is it called? Kiloamps? No. Ah, well, it's like the power. It's
how do you do?
A small thing. Okay, so I'll ask him the same thing as before. Oh no.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so I don't remember. Let's say that. Let's see if we can get something out of him. He stares at you wide-eyed and flabbergasted. You don't remember? You came across a dying man and just forgot what happened? Yeah, he might have tried to tell me something, but he was dying. His words were rushed. The monk sighs, his gaze falls to the floor. Then his errand has come to ruin, he says quietly. I thank you, traveler, for conveying this news to us. Long have we waited for word of our brother. At least we know more of his fate. Now, if you will bid us our privacy, my brethren and I have much to discuss. Interesting that we get the open missive. Let's see if I can... But that completes the quest? It does. I don't like it. I don't think... These guys are really mad. Followers of Whale are not okay. 18k BTU, another 10k if I'm not mistaken. What? We have two turned... Oh. I don't know what those are.
Certainly.
I don't know what BTU is.
Greetings.
I'm gonna give him the message. let's see what happens at the end of the game, I guess, because we can't see that now. Thank you for relaying the details of our fallen brother, and let's move on. Because we are going to talk to some Spriggans today. Not really Spriggans, they're not Spriggans. They're called, Galathan, or Gabasron, Queeneth, have a moment? I would like a word with you. Yeah, would you? Hi.
Hello.
A slender woman in dusty leathers locks eyes with you. It's good to see someone from civilized lands around here, from more civilized lands. Her unkempt hair sprouts in wavy black tufts. Despite the fine features that sculpt her face, a cleft chin completes her boyish appearance. I don't know what a cleft chin is. Is that like a protruding chin? Is that what it is? Like she's... Anyway. I'm learning firsthand that many shortcomings of the Glenfathan hospitality. That's where we are. Glenfathan hospitality is these guys around here. Her gloved hands come to rest on the pommel of a long stock, cinched low on her hip. I can almost forgive the hostility towards outsiders, but the temperate taverns and these watered-down drinks, inexcusable. I hope I don't seem too forward, but I need to help my friends, and then you look like the right person for the job. I remember this mission. It's actually quite interesting. Which is to say you're not Glenfathan, making you the closest thing I've got to an ally in this paranoid land. And allies, well, they help each other, do they not? Okay. Who are you? The woman parts the dust off her leggings and gives you an exaggerating curtsy. Sure. Where did I leave my ambassadorial manners? I am Queeneth. Pleasure to meet you. She is Queeneth. I don't know where this name would be from, but I don't think she is from the Valen Republics. Let's see. For the time being, though, I'm just another Estramor, a foreigner, minding her own business. Okay, what do you need? My friends have drawn some unwanted attention. Glenfathan scouts, and not just any mob of local zealots. The Fangs, which is one of the tribes. The Fangs. I don't remember if that is the full name. They're brutal, relentless, and eager to make an example of troublesome outsiders. As for why I need your help, I need someone to warn the expedition that trouble is coming, and I need someone ready to fight if it comes to that. With any luck, we'll reach my friends before the Fangs do. But if not, the Fangs have a reputation to uphold, so this might require spilling blood. Okay, what did your friends do to draw the attention of the Fangs? Just setting foot in Air Glenfath is a good way to offend the tribes. I don't know how they picked up our trail. I suspect one of our newer scouts didn't cover his tracks well enough. When I spotted the Fangs, they were retracing a path that the expedition had taken days before. Okay, so they still have a few days ahead, or had a few days ahead. And the reason why these guys are tracking them is because the Air Glenfathans do not like foreigners getting into the ruins that they protect, the ruins of the Engwithan Empire, the thousands-of-year-old empire. How often do I use my computer? What are you asking me? I use my computer all the time. All the time. I mean, not while I'm working, because I have a full-time job. So like 8 hours a day I don't. Otherwise, it's just always in use. Thank you, Marvok. Welcome to the stream as well. How's it going? 5,000 what? That is so much. Hi everyone. Hi everyone, says Tribal Bar. Hi Tribal Bar. How's it going? I said hi everyone to you. I don't know. You just hopped in to say hello. Thank you very much for saying hello, and hello to you as well. So why aren't you with the rest of the expedition? Her posture stiffens at the question, of course. It was my turn to handle Far Patrol. I spotted the Fangs on my trek back to the camp. I knew then that rejoining the main group would risk leading the enemy back to the right back to the expedition. I know the woods, and I know how to stay quiet. I didn't want to stake my friends' lives on my ability to sneak past expert hunters like the Fangs. If they noticed me warning my friends, we'd have been overrun. But if they noticed me and some reinforcements like you, yeah, well, at least then we can scare them off or put up a good fight. Yeah, she actually has the right of it. The problem here is what they were doing here. It's illegal to get into these ruins. Or I should say that what I should say actually is that the neighboring country, Deerwood, does not condone. I don't think they actually arrest anybody for that, but they do not condone the pillaging of Engwithan ruins. Or I say pillaging, but I think they don't condone people to going in there. And it's just common folklore that people shouldn't go in there. So these guys are very much grave robbers, which shouldn't be a problem, because I my character doesn't care. Tell me about your expedition. I'd like to think we're on a mission of reclamation. Yeah, grave robbing. It is said that our armies left behind many valuables in their hasty retreat from Air Glanfath at the end of the War of Black Trees, which was actually before... Oh, your army. So she's a Diran. That's why I didn't know the name. The War of Black Trees happened like 20 years before the independence of Deerwood, which was just a colony of the Diran Empire. But yeah, she's probably a Diran. So the way I see it, we're simply gathering up what our ancestors left behind. I doubt the Glanfathans agree with me on this. Yeah, my expedition set out from Defiance Bay, heading directly east to cross into Glanfathan lands. I split off once we arrived at the Bell. I have no idea where that is. The natural frontier between our nations. The plan... So, yeah, that confirms it, right? That confirms that Glanfathan is a different nation. Because I'd never really figured that out, but I think that is the case. The plan was for me to keep my eyes on the Glanfathans while the main groups scoured the target area. For days we eluded them, but the Fangs got wise to our presence. I'm gonna say this. The BTU means British Thermal Unit. Ah, that's why I don't know that then. I have never heard of any of that. Square meter of my room is about 20 square meters. The Bale is a great river. I think not, actually. But it makes sense that it would be. It's also interesting that it's called the Bale. You don't say, oh, it's just the River Bale. No. It's the Bale. Or the Bale, or whatever. Actually, that's Baal. I believe that would be Baal, because it's like Rad Saras. No, actually, Rad Saras has a... Riot Saras is read like that. But I believe that is Baal. Let's go with this one. Your friends are trespassing. By local custom, they're criminals. Let's hope that I don't actually fail the quest. She frowns and blinks at you several times. You'll forgive me if I'm not sympathetic with face painters and their barbaric laws. I'm not pretending that what we're doing is noble. I just don't believe trespassing is a crime that warrants execution. That's true, but well, I'm not. It's fine. It's fine. You are, however, advocating for the execution of the guards. So, and that's what might end up happening. I'll help you warn the expedition. And she smiles. Excellent, I knew I could count on you. Assuming the Fangs didn't already get them, my friends should now be at or around the Pilgrim's Trail in the Northfield, which we can't actually go to right now because I think we need to go north to the top end of the city. There's actually an exit there. The plan was to camp along a trail leading to the Temple of Ilea, which we need to go to. Find my comrades, warn them of the Fangs warn them the Fangs are coming, and help them clear out the forest. I'll head out first on my own and see if I can lead the Fangs astray and buy us some time. If the gods smile on us, we won't have to draw steel. Well, if I do my job properly. Should it come to that, I'm glad you are on our side. Yeah. So let's see what we have. We have a little bit of a room over here. And Silera Trilere. She is from the Valiant Republics. Oh, square feet. Yeah. Google helps you with that, but so it's over there. It's somewhere over there. Oh, Northwheel's over here. Yeah, somewhere this way. So we need to go to Old Song first, which we are gonna go to, but not today, most likely. We are going to Elms.
Not sure
to
how
the
I
east
feel about this.
First. Okay, what do you have over here? Taundra Tara. It's fine. And we have some books over here. Oh, that's Elementary Glanfathan. All the differences. Let's see. Ae. Do you have Ae? No, this is different. Oh, this is how it's pronounced. Oh, no, it's not how it's pronounced. This is how it's pronounced. A and is the difference between paw and pat. Oh, actually, it's okay. Aw. Really? Aw. Interesting. And that is he and he. Yeah, that's like Portuguese. I becomes E and E. Ooh, drawn out. Nice. And then O and O. That should be the opposite, actually. Much like this. It should be the opposite. Also because paw and O is the same sound. And, oh, the W is Estromorhan. Really? Because that's butt. And then we have boot. Nah, it's very complicated. And then we have Anam. Look at that. Anam means soul. And Anamfath. And okay, what is Anamenfath? That's not properly written. The game actually... people say Anamemphath, not Anamphath. That is Anamemphath, and the plural is Anamphatha. That's really complicated that it would be like that, but it also would be very, very cool, because it would reveal some hidden, or at least complicated grammatical structure. The spiritual leaders of the tribe, yeah. Arguis. Oh, that's... oh, yeah, that's the... Arguis means armor. Behunen. Is that what it is? Life. Blade means wolf. Kaz, battle. Delem means leaf. Den. Oh, Delem Garen. That's the things we're gonna talk to. Means leaf. And Den means man. And Fath means... oh, it means princess. Galamenfath. That's probably the... What's the name for a woman? Enun. Den Enun. Ah, maybe. Maybe the singular version Anamemphath means the female gendered version of Anamphath. And that's why we see sometimes Anamemphath rather than Anamphath. And that would mean Anamemphatha for the plural of the female version, which this being, I think it is a patriarchal society, probably means that it would be Anamphatha for if it's mixed. Or maybe if it is any plural. Maybe that works like that. I don't know. Estromor and Estromorun. Or Estromorun. Huh. Yeah, it is like it's said over there. Guan means winter. Huh. Wen means maiden, much like Elven. Got some cool stuff. Chippers. Ciphers. Did you mistype that? Ciphers of the Wind. I am a cipher. I'm a crowd controlling cipher, but a little bit on the mixed side of things. And then we have some weirdly formatted things over there. And we have another book over here. Glyphathan Customs. Oh, the Festival of the Ancients and the Cleansing. And I'm sure this is very fun to read. But I'm not going to read it. Let's go. So, we're going to talk to the Delem Gans. I don't know what Gan means. I'm pretty sure I also have that book that we were reading. You have the urge to play a Wild Orlan Paladin. That sounds like an interesting character. It would work fine, though. I don't think... I don't know what the Orlans gain and lose. Actually, I can learn, because we have an Orlan over here. Hi, Ravius. How's it going? Let me see. So, Texas Collective, that's good. Let's see what he has. So, he's got -1 to might, which is kind of a little bit of a problem because of paladins, and +2 to perception, and +1 to resolve. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Extra accuracy and extra defense. It's good. It's good by me. It's pretty good. Okay, so let's leave through here. Elms Reach District, that's Old Song. And those connect to Old Song. So let's leave through here. And that's why I got a little bit confused, because that guy stopped me, but there's another guy over here that said the same thing. And I think they sort of didn't know what I would do. And he's going to complain again, but he's going to let me through. We have authorization. Do not try my patient, Estromorum. You shall not pass without the permission of Anamphatha. Yeah, I come to see the cornerstone, or the blessing of the guided compass, which is the ruling... No, it's not the ruling, actually, but it's the current... the only current tribe that is in the Council of the Six, or whatever those are, the guys. He scowls. Always too cozy with the Estromoran. He complains about of course, the guided compass. Go then and mind your step around the sacred stones. That's fine. So, up. Oh, we can go to Old Song as well? Good. We can't go to Burial Isle, because that's the most sacred of places. But we don't need to go there anyway. And is my room sunny region of the house? Yes, unfortunately it is. It's turning basically southwest. That's the coordinate. Southwest, I believe. And that is the problem. It's good for the morning though, because the sun doesn't strike here. And it's also, I got the roof right above me. It's got a sort of a arched roof, sort of. Not really arched, but it's sort of like a triangle. And it's got insulation, but it doesn't mean it works very well. The Great Lioness has grown old and no longer has claim over the sacred lair in Gallowayne's Maw. Gallowayne's Maw is right there. That, I believe, is a temple to Gallowayne. No, it's not right there. Where's Galloway Moor? Where? There it is. Hall of Warriors. No. Is it over here? Yeah. And it's talking about one of the animals that fights in there. It's sort of weird. I don't know if Uravius had his trial in here in the city, or if he did it elsewhere. How hot does my room get? Without the computers, probably about 30 degrees. If I keep the windows closed, that probably is how hot it gets. If I open them, it depends on when I open them, because outside if it's like 38, 37, of course it's gonna bring the heat in. But if I have the computers on, it gets probably above 35 in here. It's not okay. It's just not okay. And we have an exceptional wand. No, I do have no. And we have some people over here. And there, Glenfath Part 2. Conflict and Unexpected Alliance. I think we read that one before. Oh, I can take those. I'll take them. And a wreath of straw woven in with animal bones hangs from the shelf. Nothing interesting. Okay, let's get out of here. It's just a house. These people don't talk. Is it freezing? Oh. I thought we were talking about the stream. It's freezing here. What hot? It's not freezing here where I live. But it's not very cold either. I'm finally capable of only wearing a shirt over my t-shirt. So that's pretty cool. You got me a little bit confused, Kick Duck. I was a little bit, I don't know, I didn't know what you were talking about. But there we go. So we have stag companions, just a bunch of people all over the place. And we have more of these houses. I can try and look into there and see if there's anything good. There's only fruit and vegetables. It's quite literally what that was. That was fruits and vegetables. And nothing of... No, that wasn't important. Where are we? Elms Reach Dwelling. I wonder... Well, Starlit Garb, a light armor, pretty good. It's exceptional. It's got defense against spells and 2 to athletics, which is always nice. I wonder if I can use it. Well, it's much better than mine, for one. This does increase lore and intellect. Intellect is really the issue here. Roland's Finery. Do I have anything that increases intellect elsewhere? I would like some, maybe a ring? Yeah. Yeah, a ring or boots. Let's see if we have any of that. Probably not, by the way. So, sort by type. And we have boots up here. Boots that increase intellect. That's good stuff. Those would be good stuff. Constitution. I've also looked up how the stacking works, and I now have a better understanding of how it works, and I know how it works, so that's great. Suppress Affliction. I have a bunch of these rings that I don't need. I thought there was a belt or something that increased well, there's helmets, but I can't. So maybe this? One of these things? I doubt it. Maximum endurance. Huh. Oh, there it is. There's a ring that increases intellect. Sigil of Arcane. That's not interesting. Oh, that soundtrack. Okay, so there's one ring that increases intellect, and there is this thing. No, what is it? All defenses. Plus reflex. There it is. So there's one thing over here. I thought there was another one. 2 perception. 3 constitution. I thought there was another one for some reason. Okay, so there's that thing. But the problem is I lose perception, which is a problem. Also, wasn't there... Come on. I don't mind losing that, but if there is a ring that can increase my perception, which I doubt there is, because I don't remember it being, or there being a ring like that. So I might use that. Three accuracy on the gloves. I want that. But this is because it's exceptional that it has the defense reduction. Or the damage reduction. This one is not exceptional, but I can enchant it. Yeah, I can bring it to exceptional if I want to. That's good. Okay, so let's see if I need to give this to somebody else. Like, for example, Hiravia's. Hiravia's got a superb armor over here. This one just gives him athletics. It's not really that great. This gives extra resolve, which is actually pretty decent. How about you, Durance? Ability area of effect. Yeah, this needs to be enchanted as well. Most likely for exceptional, because it doesn't have anything. So, while this is a good armor, I'm not going to use it. Also, that shield. I'm not going to use it. So, it is a nice armor. Yeah, it's... I'm not sure it's the Portugal or Spain are the hottest countries on average in Europe, because I'm pretty sure Greece is hotter, and certainly like Malta and Crete, both Cretes, I guess. Are there two countries in Crete? I don't know. Cyprus? No, it's not Crete. It's Cyprus, right?
Keeping an eye out.
My geography is terrible, but there's some really hot places in here. Relatively speaking, of course. This is the Hall of Warriors. I just want to see what is outside, because we're going into these places, but not right now, because we're gonna go up that over there, the Ter Evron. That means, I don't know. I actually don't know what it means. Arthun, and that's when I pierced the giant Stelgar with my spear right through its heart. That guy says. Not right now. As you can see, I've got important things to do at this moment. Do you? You're just telling stories.
Quietly now.
Bullcrap stories that probably didn't happen. Arthum, yeah. Oh, we got things over here. Oh. Got it. Got it right there. Okay. So, circling back... Oh, that's right. This is I think we have a quest to talk to somebody that lives over here. This is the Golden Grove. There's one of the, I think it's one of the tribes, or at least there's somebody very important in there. I think they're like the other part of the government.
Laying low.
Is here or something. No. Okay, save the game there, because I'm gonna steal some stuff. Ooh, it's a potion. A bulwark against elements. Could come in handy. Could very much come in handy. Could very well come in handy, I should say. And it's just a house. Yeah, they don't say anything. Got some milk, some veggies and things. Nothing important. Ooh. Constitution and Resolve. And we got Youthful Spirits. Peridot. And just some history of this place. Yeah, I know a guy that does air conditioning. I'll talk to him about that after Easter. Yeah, the computers will definitely warm up the room. They're the thing that keeps me alive through cold nights. Not cold nights, but I guess right now when I'm playing. Because that is, it's quite a difference. It's quite a difference. You definitely can tell. Isolde earned my trust, she says. Why do you continue to support Erona? The High Ovate has tended to the grove for centuries. I believe Ovate here comes from ovation, and these guys just actually sing. I think they're singers. And actually, what is the name of this place? The Golden Grove. Okay, yeah. And now abandons it to journey away from Twin Elms, much too often. Twin Elms, by the way, this is what gives the name its name. Gives the city its name, because it's two elms around a around the an ancient tower. And these are the Ovates. We can't really talk to them. Not these ones, anyway. But we can talk to Bleda. And I remember Bleda having a quest for us. And there's somebody important up there. But I think she's actually the one that that we need to care about.
Hail, Estramore.
Welcome, Estramore. I've got herbs and potions for sale, looking for something to ease your travels or something to make them more interesting. Whiteleaf, says Heather. Nice way to spend an afternoon, and the following night, and most of the next day. Sure. She's not the one that gives quests, as it turns out. She does sell some things over here. Tiny Sporling. It's a pet. I don't want none of that. No. I mean, I could buy it. There's no real downside to buying it. Then a bunch of potions that I'm still not using. You might notice. Tamrun, I believe. That's how it's pronounced.
Many blessings, traveler.
Hail to you. May your time in the Golden Grove, be enriching. And hail to you, Autumn Orlan, he says. He's talking to Iravius. Iravius' eye, single one because he lost one, widens in surprise and his one good ear stands on end. How on earth do you... The man's eyes remain closed, and he says with a smile, oh yeah, his eyes closed. I didn't think. Tranquility begets a receptive mind. He opens his eyes, revealing brown irises clouded with the beginnings of cataracts. With my eyes open, I see your birth form. But when I look inward, and with this he closes his eyes again, I see the Autumn Stelgar. Okay, I'm gonna let him talk. I don't know how you can sense it, but you're right about me being the Stelgar. What do you know about the beast? Why was I ostracized just for being able to assume its form? Is there a cure? Yeah, that's right. That's Iravius' quest. So basically, or it's his story anyway. So basically, he was kicked out of his town because when he went and did the trial of his god, Galawain, the god of the hunt. Basically, his assumed form as a druid became the Stelgar, which is sort of a big cat, and he didn't like it. And people didn't like it either. I think they said it was an omen or something. So let's see what this guy has to say. He smiles, his eyes remaining closed. I know the beast is often sent by Galawain, the god of the hunt, as a sort of trial. Many Anemphatha are tested by the Autumn Stelgar. Those bested and consumed by the beast have their soul torn from their bodies and lost for all time. So my tribesmen were right. He looks crestfallen, his posture slumps, his gaze drops to the ground. Are you saying I have such a terrible power? This must be some sort of... If your spirit form were a bee, says Tarun, Tamrun? Would you be mystically compelled to make honey? Were it a bird, would you spend all day making nests? I am saying this is what the animal your form resembles is known to do. It seems you are eager to leap to your own conclusions. I would not normally advise one to speak with a circle at blood sense, but given your circumstances, the ethic null may prove to be insightful, I suppose. Yeah, the ethic null basically they're a group of sort of witches that live in the Blood Sands, which is a place in here, and they do some sort of blood magic. It's weird. Read the stone slabs carved by the druids of the Blood Sands. There are answers to be found, as well as more questions, but you must explore them for yourself. Is there anything more you can tell us? Only trust in Galawain, and trust in Whale. Both have blessed you in their own difficult ways. Whale is the god of revealed mysteries? I think so, but I appreciate the attempt to lift my spirits, he grumbles, but that doesn't really help, says Iravius. But he has a point. I shall trust Whale has something to show me in the Blood Sands. Yeah, what exactly is written on these stones? Much of it is utter rubbish on the incessant need for sacrifice, because of the whole Blood Sands thing. But amongst the dogma are a few bits of wisdom on Galawain. Your friend will understand. Will he now? Well, I trust he will, because he's a pretty smart guy. Not as smart as I would want him to be, considering he's a druid, but still pretty smart. Since the sun shines on your window, your room gets hot like an oven. Yeah. I slept in a room like that. At 9 a.m. it was already hot like crazy. Just absolutely dreadful. Just terrible. Terrible things. But then I left that room and came up here. It was in a different part of the house. So, Isold is the correct pronunciation. There's things all over the places. And that is, okay, as it turns out, Isold is the main quest giver. Although, all are welcome in the Golden Grove, she says. He says? I'm gonna say he. An elf with placid green eyes nods in greetings. Welcome to the Golden Grove, traveler.
Builder's wisdom to you.
It's a woman. Do you seek the wisdom of our herbalists, or simply to bask in Weretha's glory? Weretha, can you tell me what that is? I would like to know what that is. Tell me about the Golden Grove. We are the Ovates, druids, philosophers, and students of nature. We gather here to share our knowledge and celebration. Many travelers come to us for poultices and remedies. Bleda understands the cures and poisons of nature like no other. She's the trader over there. Who leads your order? High Ovet Erona leads us. She sometimes journeys to Elmshore to renew her strength. However, she's there now with some of her closest followers, in fact. Erona is a mighty elm among us. She's lived for generations. There are none who understand the world as well as she, and we are fortunate to have her wisdom to answer our questions. Interesting, a mighty elm. Tell me more about her. Why? You must meet her for yourself. She is wise and kind, and she has led our order from the beginning. Yet she walks among us and gives freely of herself. That is what so many of us cherish about her. She is present among us in a way that the gods never are. That's why you like people. It's just because they are like right there, and you can even touch them if they let you, and then you can just sort of be there, and they're there. It's nice. What do you believe? What do you believe? Oh yeah, because her order. Yeah, we believe that knowledge is found in the earnest exploration of the natural world. We do not, as some have said, oppose the gods. We simply believe that we have found a brighter, more peaceful path than devotion. I don't remember finding any parallels to these guys when we dealt with them. And apparently they're not having any quests for us, which is interesting. Druids, philosophers, and students of nature. I wonder if they have some sort of... Because what she's saying over here... Erona is a mighty elm. Wisdom. Renew... No, she doesn't say anything about that. Where? Whoa, Weretha is the world. Anarchy Valkyrie, welcome to the stream. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, Weretha is the world. That's the world. I didn't understand. I didn't know, but I think that is. Now, it's we gather here to share our knowledge and celebration. No, yeah, she doesn't. Oh, there it is. We believe that knowledge is found in the earnest exploration of the natural world. So this has got a little bit of experimentation in it. But then again, these guys do give me sort of this... was it Plato? Was it Plato? Or was it Aristotle? It was Aristotle, right? I believe it was Aristotle. So Aristotle, which you might know of, and if you don't, go and look it up. He's a pretty important person. He was a pretty important person. At least historically speaking. He was at the time. Maybe he wasn't, but you know, the influence comes after one dies. Aristotle had a very specific way of looking at the world. That these guys kind of have that sense. He believed that that if enough people or enough smart people came together and discussed like reality, and if they came to a conclusion that was solid and well founded, and just they tried to make it as solid as possible, that enough people that without experimentation they could come up with the truth. Aristotle actually differed a lot to who was the... How do I not know? It wasn't Pascal. Who was it? How did I not know the father of scientific method? Oh my god, I'm a terrible person. But anyway, about 2,000 years after that, after Aristotle, people started to just, hey, you probably should experiment with things, and if you come up with a theory, sort of put it to the test and see if it works, because you might be wrong, and you might find more stuff, and that's how the whole scientific method came to be. But these guys strike me more as Greek philosophers than, especially because she says philosopher there in the study of nature, and there's a lot of that whiff of Greek philosophy here. But I must go. But it's interesting. That's unfortunately we can't read too much of them. But then again, it's always a balance, isn't it? If you're making a video game, are you really gonna make walls of text to a side thing or something? People want to fight things. This game has plenty of. Oh hi. Oh no. That over there is Theos Ex Arcanon.
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara Ex Ensios.
There it is. Ooh.
But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer.
Okay, so recap time. Oh, I'm so glad I took notes here. It is very important. Ex Ensios, that's the second name. X might mean off, and that is not the second name then. They might not have second names because surnames are a weird thing. They're sort of a medieval phenomenon, as far as I know. It might vary from culture to culture. In the Western society, it is a medieval phenomenon. Anyway, who is this Iavara? Who's this Theos? Now, he's the bad guy. This is the guy that has masterminded the birth of all the children without souls. Basically, the great catastrophe of our current world. And he's behind the Latin Key, which is a secret group of descendants from the thousands of year old empire, the Inguithans. And we're seeing a memory of our soul because he's talking to us, actually, the Inquisitor. Apparently I was an Inquisitor, or our soul was in a previous body. And I'm role-playing a guy or I'm making choices here that mean that I was really faithful to him. And what he's saying right there, I don't think it's a consequence of what he did, but I like that I am role-playing like that, because he's saying that I am true to our cause. Now, the last vision we had of him, this is thousands of years ago, this is not current day. The last vision we had of him, he actually asked us our relationship with Iavara. We knew of her name then. We hadn't heard of her name before, and we're gonna meet her later at the end of the game, but it doesn't matter. It's not a spoiler or anything. We're just gonna meet her soul, and it's amazing. And now we know she's called Iavara Ex Ensios. Ensios, I believe, is a city, and I think he actually talked about Ensios, and I believe it was the capital of the Inguithan Empire, but that's of no consequence. What is of consequence, though, is that by the last vision that we had of him, he was saying whether or not, he was asking whether or not we were faithful to him, to Theos, and to his god, or the god he purports to follow and serve, who is Boudica. Now, Boudica is the queen that was. There's god of justice, among other things. And Iavara is, we saw her in a previous vision. We saw her being executed, or tortured at least, and she was very steadfast in her determination. She didn't cry out or anything, and she was extremely tortured. The descriptions were very vivid. And I wrote down here what she was. She was at the Iron Will. She was being drawn at the will. No pain, showing no pain. And Theos, she said she was a heretic. One of them was one of them. What did I write that for? But anyway, we are staying faithful to Theos, and let's see what happens. You honor me, Grand Inquisitor. It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom witch. Kratom is the city where she comes against us now. Yeah, Kratom is the city that she comes from, and not Ensios. Yeah, it is Francis Bacon. Thank you very much, Jung. That's the one I was thinking of. 1630 something. Wrote the philosophy of nature or something like that. That's a pretty important book. I just don't remember. It's all in Latin. We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court. How would we reach her? Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different.
The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution.
But how would we get Iovara to move to Oceanus?
You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
Okay, so we are left wondering there. Also, we know that Iovara might have a faith. So we know that she might more than deny Wurika's grasp on people, because, you know, the Theos follows Wurika. She might actually defend the grasp of another god or goddess, and we don't know. Now, this is where we were coming from, and this is the most exciting part of today's stream, I think, maybe. And these are the two Delemgans. They are tree spirits. Two identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. Their skin is tree bark, ridged and scaly, wreathed in a curling tangle of roots, buds, and blooms. Their hats hang beneath the shade of serrated leaves like the drooping branches of the elms above, and the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds or even thousands of concentric rings, as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennia. And they would be probably very old, and either created or raised by the Engwithans. And this tower over here, there's two trees over here, and we learned last stream that this tower, basically the trees intertwine around the tower and probably keep it up, because we haven't found a whole lot of Engwithan towers still up.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
Very human-like voice all of a sudden. One of them extends a snarl of roots towards you that snakes and twists together to form something like an open hand, palm down. The other stares at you unblinking, as her frown deepens, her face creaks. Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul. Yeah, she's talking about my soul, because, as I said before, we are from Engwithan times. Like the other one, because Theos was here. We're actually following on his step. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell her and be troubled no more. I would pay the debt of her predecessor. It would pay the debt of her predecessor. Again with this nonsense. Come on, I'm trying to kill him.
So it would seem, Rhiannon.
None.
But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
Sidaha, that's her name, and Rhiannon. Should be Rhiannon. Huh. Yeah, sure.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
Well, I you know me, I stain all the things. I have forgotten my purpose in the presence of such legendary beauty. What have I begun hallucinating in double? Spoken with the transparent eagerness of one whose deformed little stamen has never successfully transferred gametophytes to even the most desperate of pistiles, and wouldn't know a carpal if an herbalist drew her a map. Now, am I not it is my impression that a gametophyte, no, wait a minute, what? My deformed little stamen, I need to look it up. I need to see what the stamen is. Google! Actually, DuckDuckGo. Stamen. Oh, no, this is not the keyboard that I'm using here. There it is. Stamen. So I'm looking it up right now. I might have started recording all of a sudden. There it is. It's fine. Stop the recording. Don't record. I'm streaming. Yes, the stamen is most commonly anthers are low. What is it? Pollen-producing reproductive organ of a flower. It is the dick-shaped one, right? And then you have the other one. What is the other one? So for metaphors, this doesn't apply, I would say. Maybe they just didn't feel like Writing a different one. The food topic again. Are we talking about food? Yeah, but anyway. I know what a carpal is. Actually, I don't know what a carpal is. Well, he wouldn't be able to draw a nipple, let alone a proper...
You must excuse my sister's temper, old one. Trust me when I say
Old
that my
one.
sister and I have truly heard them all.
Yeah, I imagine.
Fortunately, you are easier to read than my sister. You are here for the man Theos Arcanon.
Arcanon.
This is clear to me. The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went.
This is good.
But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious, even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
Well, there's a lot of options here. I have a problem. Is only the one that can fix it. I think I chose that on my Let's Play, but that's not really the reason why I'm going there. That is one of the reasons. This is from the beginning of the game. We have become awoken. Was it? Or no? We have become a watcher. Now, awoken means that we remember the memory of our soul. A watcher means we can see souls. And I believe that is being a watcher. That is a problem. That's going to make us go crazy. But I believe you can only be a watcher if you are awoken anyway. So anyway, it's sort of complicated. So we are trying to get him to fix it, but that's not a good answer. That's not really the crux of the matter here, because the problem is he's really a bad guy, and he is also mean, and he killed Lady Webb, who was really nice, and he just murdered her. And stopping him might end Waidwen's legacy. That's very true. Stopping him and all of his group. That is what I'm gonna do. That is the reason why I'm doing this. I don't think choosing here actually matters for anything, but still, role-playing, right? That's how we do it. Let's see. He must face justice for his transgressions. Nah, he mustn't. I'm gonna just... Injustice is what he deserves. Let's just go with this.
So that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the Leaden Key.
Leaden Key is the group he leads.
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheila. He has always been a poison.
Sheila?
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to have ever gotten the better of Theos?
It's a good point.
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you just picture him all strung up in vines like an angry little puppet?
But that's not what this is really about, is it? You are bound to that man.
Well, not really.
I see it now. You are awakened.
That's what I was saying before.
Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
So a carpal... Oh, okay, so I didn't know what it was. A carpal is the female reproductive part of the flower then. So it's the one I was trying to look for. So that was not only dick shaming Selenumbra, but also virgin shaming her, which she is not, and she knows a very nice carpel that she found in I don't remember the name of that place, the Salty Mast, and I think she also found some gametes or whatever the dick-shaped things were on the other guy downstairs. I don't remember if I spent money on him. Anyway, yeah, let's see what she's saying. Past overwhelms present. Yeah, she's talking about me being awoken. Yeah, I just need to get to Theos. It's really, I don't care about me.
I am sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek. Nor can any man.
What?
An awakening cannot be undone.
Oh.
Any more than your past can be undone.
Yeah, but that's interesting, because the game is pointing it... She is talking about there is more to it. That's not what I seek, Sheila. That is not what I seek. I seek to kill him because of Waidwen's legacy. The babies being born without souls. What's she mean? Asked Adair. I thought Mirwold said, well, I'm sorry. Sagani gazes, flickers to me. It's fine. We did not come down this road together to be refused passage by a pair of talking saplings, says Duranus. Duranus, I'm gonna smack you with your own staff. Medicho, says Palagina. There must be some way. Hiravis doesn't say anything, interestingly enough. So this has all been for nothing, and I'm going to lose my mind. It's fine.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
Just to remind you, losing my mind here is not being impatient. Is actually going crazy because of being awakened. That's the problem. That's the problem. The soul is formless without a past to shape it. That's also a pretty interesting way of looking at it. Do you expect to be able to wipe it away? Yeah, because that's the problem. It's understandable that, considering that I actually didn't think of this. I didn't remember this bit because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because it's it's all years in the future and we have other present issues to deal with. But like, if you get awakened by remembering things from your previous life, even by just doing things that you did in your previous life, then how do you expect to just stop being awakened? You really need to lose those memories again, and not the memories of your previous life, but more specifically, and like losing the memories of your previous life, that's one thing, but more specifically losing the memories of your actual life, or your current life, I should say. And just not remembering doing whatever it was that got you awakened. Otherwise, anytime you're like, what did I do Thursday? Oh crap, I'm awakened again. See, that's sort of a problem. Jung says 4 and Harry says 2. I haven't read anything of this. Let's see. The soul is formless without did you expect? No, but I had hoped it would be something I could forget. No. I'd rather have tried to put things right. That's what I don't what? I would leave with it if I could. I can. You can. You've been living with it for a while. You're gonna die, but, you're gonna die with it as well. Dad or kill the man who brought it up? I think Jung has the right of it, Harry. I think he has the right of it. Number 4 there, I believe, is the correct answer. I had to believe in something. No, you didn't. You could just not care about it. It's just like, just wallow in ignorance and just, it's fine. Let's go with this one.
He is beyond forgiveness, for
Yes.
his deeds are beyond repair.
Yes.
Is that so?
Indeed.
It
Not
would
just for
seem
me.
that way to me as well. But if that is true, then the two of you may be connected more closely than you realize.
You're really talking a lot of... there's no connection here. I don't care for the guy.
However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward.
See?
Would you agree, Shiva?
Oh.
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
You underestimate me.
Or perhaps you underestimate your foe, old one.
Yeah.
Where your soul is renewed in its ignorance in each span of your life, his only grows in cunning and resolve.
The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you.
I can see.
And without that knowledge,
Maybe not,
your
actually.
doom is certain.
Okay, it's important, actually, to know that what she's referring to, we don't know. That might... I think this becomes a pretty central point of the plotline. Something about it lingers within you. Sure.
But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
Indeed. Yeah, my past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest?
You might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But
Or pay
when
a
it
small
comes,
fee.
It will
Loot
replace
boxes.
your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
I know. But that's sort of a make or break point? Is that what she's saying?
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Yeah, Theos. Would he remember? He probably would, because he's a very different sort of watcher. He actually stood in his... He remembers. He's the same soul. He didn't, like, get reborn and awakened over and over again. He's the same soul. He jumps from body to body. He's sort of a very powerful being just because of that.
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason.
It wasn't the wrong reason!
We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos' path many times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
2,000 years is only natural.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
I need to kill him, and I need to stop the Wall of Hollowborn. That's really my focus. But they're talking about a different thing here. You said you know where he went?
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, Sun and Shadow.
So they are not as old as the Engwithian were, and he basically has gone to an Engwithian place. Sun in Shadow is the buried city. Oh yeah, it's a place on the ground. That's the end of the game actually. It's called Sun in Shadow.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
He doesn't care.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
Is there another way to get to him?
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take you where you want to go.
Yeah, we're gonna need to talk to the gods, and that's why I'm really excited for this stream. Harry has something to say about the whole thing. Technically speaking, you can't remember things from your past life. It's the same like getting your bray hair, maybe? Cut out and then... Cut out and then you regenerate or reincarnate, or like in the moment that you're cloned. The physical components are made, recovered, rebuilt, but memories can't be recovered or cloned. Because they are information electrical impulses. When they're gone for good. What? I don't know what you're talking about. In this, what? Memories aren't electrical impulses. If your brain shuts down, you don't lose your memories. You can lose your memories if your brain gets damaged. But like when people go dead, they don't lose their memories. You can be resuscitated and you still have the memories. For I think 40-something minutes at maximum. You do need to keep things going. But it's the electrical impulses are the processing. The neurons, the memory, we don't really understand how memories are kept. But to the best of my understanding, what makes a memory is more the relationship between the neurons. So when a neuron fires, it goes to another and another and another. And then that times a million. There's so many of them. And that's just the habit. The habit of the neurons firing at the same time actually creates the memories, and it's the way we interpret those firings and the memories all together that makes it a memory. So it's just the habit of a neuron more than the electricity in the brain. It's not like an SSD drive. No, actually not like like RAM memory or something. Random access memory. RAM, I guess. It's not like that. Would Theos have more knowledge than a person who lived different lives? Yes, he would. Specifically, I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm right in regards to him actually never dying and just going from body to body. What she says is that he has perfect memory, which means that he's awakened for good and forever, and he never forgets anything. Oh, the brain. Okay, so let's see. You're getting your brain cut out, and then you regenerate or incarnate. The way it works in this game is slightly different. This game has a very clear-cut way. I think it might be. I don't know Buddhism well enough to Hinduism, actually, not Buddhism. Sorry, I don't know Hinduism well enough to understand how exactly the soul works in Hinduism. But this game doesn't. It's not meant to be like a. You're not meant to sort of try to work out any realistic way or philosophical way of how a soul or what a soul is. So objectively speaking, a soul is you in this game. We're talking about your personality, your motivations, your morals, your instincts, and all that sort of stuff is in your soul. And you just get put into a body, and the body has no consequence whatsoever over your soul. Now, the memories are a different thing. You do lose your memories when you get reborn in this game, unless you get awakened. And my awakening comes from... My character actually says, I only remember... My past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest? I think awakening is not the same for everybody, because for example, Aloth is also awakened, and he just has this other personality jump up out of nowhere, and he doesn't have control over her, and I don't have any of that. But that other personality, who with a different name, is still Aloth. It's still the same soul, just has a different personality. So the awakening might present itself in a different way, in different ways. But this game is very clear cut. It's not meant like I tried to in my Let's Play. I tried to keep my past life, my Engwithan life of my soul, sort of a separate thing, and be like, whatever I decided, whatever my soul or whatever I decided with in my previous life is not the same thing as I am doing right now. But the game doesn't allow you to do that because canonically speaking, you are the same person. You're just finding out about your past. And coming to that realization on the first playthrough, for me, was very hard. But I believe that is how that is. Indeed, Harry. The soul is a very separate, and it's very mystical, a very specific thing from the body. It's just the body is, like Theos has a soul. He's the soul, and he can just go from body to body. We've seen him jump from bodies to bodies, and it's different. It's not as you would maybe understand, depending on your religious beliefs or lack thereof. It's not like you would understand soul, I guess. Would you have knowledge of, say, a blacksmith? Yes, I believe so. Aloth, it depends on how exactly that works, because again, being awakened is different. But Aloth, when he gets into the other personality that he has, not only does he act and speak differently, but he actually acts differently, and he fights, and he becomes a different person, which would actually be interesting, getting Aloth with different stats and just bringing out his other. I wonder if he has an ability like that. That'd be an interesting thing, wouldn't it? Just has a modal ability where he just becomes the other person. Although that probably would drive him crazy after a while, because his problem is actually the other person being there in his body, or his other self, I guess. So that's it just talks differently and has different things and different priorities as well, which is sort of weird. I don't really understand. Like, that's why it's so difficult, because Aloth is two very different people in the same soul, and that is weird to me. And understanding and coming to all these conclusions, I'm sure there's room to debate here. This is just my understanding. I think I'm right. And I hope the developers thought of this as much as I did. But what I really hope is that they thought more of what than I am right now thinking. But yeah, let's get back to here. The way my sister speaks of it is not for the faint of heart. Yeah, the hole that we're gonna go through to get to Sun. What was he called? What was the name of the place? Sun in Shadow. That's the one. The city at the end of the game, where Theos is. A great pit at the center, and also we don't know what he's doing down there. A great pit at the center of the forgotten. Okay, yeah, we need help of the gods, and that's actually very important. What is this court? The court. Where does she? Oh, the court of the gods. I think that's what she's talking about. A great pit at the center of the forgotten court. Yeah, okay. The forgotten court, I believe, is actually the Engwithan ruin. It's just an Engwithan ruin. I could ask that. Let's go with that.
No more than a ruin now. It is older than we. A place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below.
Okay, this might be an account of Yovara that we were hearing of before. And here it is very specifically it's very specifically put that it's the heretics. She's talking about the heretics. She's definitely talking about Yovara and the group. Excuse the burp. And the group of her followers. But she's putting it in a way that refused to acknowledge the gods. And if this is common knowledge, it actually makes sense that the Ovates actually mentioned it. Like, we don't refuse the gods, we just think there's a better way of understanding the world. That's what they said in the Golden Circle. But that's another thing. Now, this might be me drawing too many conclusions when Theos said her faith, of Eovarus' faith, and I propose that she might actually, instead of just not refusing to acknowledge the gods, being instead acknowledging a different god, and that might actually be exactly what it is, because Ingwithian descendants and the Ingwithians themselves, they might, and at least the followers of Boudica and the gods of Ingwith, they might have a similar attitude to Christians in medieval ages, where they would talk of anybody that didn't that wasn't a Christian to be godless. Not necessarily anybody, because they're well, specifically Islam was pretty huge at the time anyway. Well, at least in the late medieval ages. So those weren't seen as pagan, but everybody else was seen as pagan, to the point where paganism is still very loose, still a very loose term. But like when Europeans, and as I know this, I'm Portuguese, as you guys might know, and we learn about the discoveries and the 16th century and 15th century, where it actually started like in force, and we started finding a lot more African tribes, and then finding the Americas, and just going to the lands of Veracruz and in South America, and then eventually to the Central America and North America, and just understanding how the traditional perspective, even of modern and contemporary historians, is of those people were. It's naturally a very racist holdover, or basically held over. It's basically a continuation of the racist attitude that existed during the colonization. But more importantly, it's interesting to see how historians, including historians, and certainly the people at the time, just saw African tribes and American tribes as godless and pagan, and didn't take their religion seriously. Now, that might be exactly what's happening here. That's what I'm trying to get at. They might say that they refuse to acknowledge the gods, and what she means is they refuse to acknowledge their gods. I don't think that's the case, because gods in this game are very specific. So what it probably is that I'm drawing too many conclusions here, and probably not really understanding what's going on. So everything is open. How am I going to kill Theos? With my weapons and spells. We'll see.
The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls. And their sentences were eternal.
She's talking...
It is said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
And this is actually true. But it also tells you about, well, the sort of gods that we're dealing with here, to be honest. Specifically Boudica, because Boudica sacrifices. Now, that's why I'm holding on to a note here of what Theos said when we first met in our memory. The gods are just and they care for their faithful. That's what he said the first time around. But basically, yeah, so they were thrown into a pit and they died and their souls stayed in there, and that's basically how it is. It's a pretty cool, it's pretty evocative. It's foreshadowing here, but that's pretty cool actually. I mean, in a sort of horrible prison-like way. It is just I have to jump into a pit. What do you mean with the help of the gods, though? That's why we have the help of the gods, because we need to jump into a pit.
The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach Sun and Shadow. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
Only the gods themselves, and that's why you need to talk to the gods. I am so excited for that. The note is over here. You can't see it. It's somewhere in there. I think I'm pointing it with this finger over there. The gods are just, and then at the bottom you can see, and they care for their faithful. And I got a little bit inverted commas. And then behind that, there's another note that reads, I can't read it from here, I'm sorry, but it reads something like, whatever stain there is upon your soul, the gods can wash it clean. That's interesting. Now that in the light of trying to fix our awakenization, how would I ever get the gods to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron,
That's where we're going.
said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods.
All of them.
If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
Oh yeah. How do I pray? So the only way to get through this bit is to pray for help?
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
Who would I pray to? Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake, the feeling is shared.
It's actually pretty easy, not complicated at all. We're gonna talk to all the gods, and then we decide. We just don't decide before we talk to all the gods. Otherwise, you do what I did in the first game and get a bad ending. Well, it's a bad vignette, not really a bad ending. But anyway, is there another way?
None.
And how do I pray?
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
None has patience for fools. I have other questions.
What do you wish to know?
How did you know I was pursuing Theos?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
I don't think they are of no consequence. I don't remember exactly how the endgame goes, but what she's referring to there is the origin of our souls is Ingwithan. So we're basically of the same nationality and the same of souls, and not just that, also we belong to the same sect and all that sort of stuff. You mentioned that people come to these elms without knowing why? A soul has a will all its own, she says. It needs and whims. No, its needs and whims are seldom understood, but they follow them all the same.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case, let us hope it is for peace.
Or vengeance.
I want to know about the two of you.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences. We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
I need to know about praying for the support of the gods.
We will tell you what we can.
Okay, that's
What
that.
do you wish to know?
Farewell.
Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
Let's find out. We are indeed close to the end of the game. We're also close to the release of Pillars of Eternity 2, so we better be close to the end of the game. Before you go, tell me this. Okay, so I won't know until I get there. I need to understand our history so it may be put to rest, nothing more. He must be destroyed. Yeah, he does. That's what I'm gonna do. I would return. Well, actually, it's not really destroying him, because he's a tool. That's the problem. He's a tool, or maybe he isn't. I don't remember exactly. So no spoilers there, since I don't remember. I would return him to the wheel of life and death. No, I wouldn't, because that's not what I think it is. So he may trouble me no more. Not me, but he might come back. I wish to undo the harm he's caused. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. I would set him on a better path. No, there's no better path for him. It's terrible anyway, hateful and just kill him. And I'll take his place in power for myself. Yeah, because I'm just a scumbag.
You would need to have twice as many lifetimes as he to repair his savage work.
Yeah, I chose to undo the harm he's done. But perhaps there are strides you can make.
All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours. And be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned, and it is those that trouble the soul above all others. May you find an answer to yours.
Indeed. And we gained a bunch of experience there. And I've completed a mission. The Wax Maker. What was that word? The key of Galef's research was an enchanted mold. Oh, that's right. This guy was making like a photocopier of enchanted items. Sonia's patron was silent about the source of their leads, but the notes quickly proved to be valuable. A grimoire sale in Sithwood and notes from a dead Red Saren wizard pointed the way towards 3 other wizards that were unwittingly performing research based on Galef's stolen notes. Spread out across the Eastern Reach, the wizards were amiable enough, but quite unwilling to part with their own extensive notes. After reporting back to the patron servant, Sonia discovered that no additional services were required. It wasn't until after returning to Cadnua that Sonia learned that the grisly deaths of the 3 wizards, all under suspicious circumstances. A short time later, a package arrived via guarded courier. It was addressed to Sonia, and the note inside simply read, "A gift." And that was a major item. It is indeed a Well Wax mold. This hinged mold has the amazing power to fully duplicate non-soul-bound weapons, shields, and armor, and other equipment placed inside it. The immense magical energy required to fabricate the copy uses the mold for raw material and wholly consumes it in its process. So that is actually really amazing, and makes me sort of really upset that I used the White Forge stuff over here, because I could get a second one if I hadn't done it. Because I don't think I want her armor. I want his armor on her, because it's just very good. That's why it's slow. But I might be able to get it elsewhere or something. What do you have over here? We'll see. We'll see. So we're getting new quests. We need to go talk to the gods. When do you think I will be done? Hopefully before the second game comes out. Hopefully so. We do have the second part of the expansion still to do. But today I think we're going to be able to get to as far as we can get in the main quest, and so we're going to go to the to do the second part of the expansion and kill some dragons and a few things. It depends on how things work. Hey, Sheeta.
What do you wish until we meet?
Okay, how about you?
What do you wish until we meet?
You talk to just Sheeta. Can't talk to the other one. So up we go through the tower. It's gonna be fine. It's all good. Not a problem. Anybody? Oh, there we are. So we are at the top of the tower already. What is this called? Tir Evron. But this is the Hall of Stars. That's right. Because you can see stars over here. And these are... I think these are the gods. How many gods are there? Burps. Yeah, I think some of them are mixed together. There's some gods that are mixed together. And we only have 4 altars. Which is interesting. And over there was... Oh, that's a broken altar. No, that's where he got in from. Shattered and charred stone blocks the passage into sun and shadow. So he came in from here, Theos Ixacanon did, and he, or Arcanon, and he basically screwed up everything. So, what I did in my Let's Play is I promised Barath that I would do something. That's right. So what is about to happen? We're going to talk to gods. And I'm going to talk about what gods are in this game and all that sort of stuff after we're done with it. Or maybe during, we'll see. But what is going to happen is that the gods will tell us, each god will tell us, oh, I want you to do this to Theos. I want you to do this when you find him. I want you to do this. And by promising each god what we are going to do, they are going to help us getting down into the sun in Shadow's place, the place where the end game happens. It's actually a fairly short, it should be like 2 hours at most, the end game. Getting there is going to be a bit of a problem, but should happen today. What happened in my Let's Play is that I promised Barath, the god of death, that I would basically destroy his soul. And I didn't do that. So Barath got very angry and just wrecked stuff up. after the end of the game. So basically, we got a bad ending there. But I also promised, what happened is I also promised somebody else, Ael'thas. It wasn't Ael'thas. I don't think it was Ael'thas. It's going to be a very big revelation if Ael'thas is alive and just talks to us here. But we'll see. And I promised some other god, I think it might have been Hylia or something like that, that I would do something else. And then she also helped us. So we had two gods helping us go down there. But their promises were conflicting. So we had to choose at the end. And that's what happened. So I screwed it up on the Let's Play. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's a terrible thing, because there's an ending that says a lot of millions of people die, but it's just whatever. Let's see what happens. Dang it. These are books about the gods. The queen that was and still is. This is Boudica. This is the goddess of... I don't know what I'm doing, because these are not altars. She's the goddess of Theos Ixarcanon and the Latin key. Oh, there it is. That's the altar over there. I think. No, it's not. Luminescent Address Shard. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I can activate this thing, and I think that's when I talk to the gods. Okay, let's see what happens. Maybe I should sneak. No. Here we go. Pretties. Pretties.
I've seen wild stars in the sky before, but I've never seen them beneath my feet.
Yep. Pretties there, ladies and gentlemen. What is this? Nothing happens when you approach Boudica's shrine. She's not here. And we have Bereth, god of death, and that's his shrine. And over here, this is Ael'thas. That's the symbol of Ael'thas. That one over there looks very reminiscent of the symbol of Neverwinter, but that's Ael'thas. A piercing ring fills your ears as you near Whale's... Oh, that's Whale? The god of revealed mysteries, that's the eye. Where's Ael'thas then? Ael'thas is not here. That's interesting. Whale's shrine, there is no other response. Whale doesn't have time for us. And that's how it goes. So some gods are mixed up. We got Bereth over here, the god of death. We have Hylia. I believe that is the lady that, goddess that I promised things to. She's the goddess of birds and things. We have Galawain, Magron, and Abaddon. Interesting. Galawain is the god of the hunt. Magron is the goddess of fire and punishment and other things. And Abaddon is the god of smiths and creation, I think. And then on this side, we have Rimergander. It's weird. He's the god of entropy and decay and inevitability. We have Skane, who is the god... Skane is the god of vengeance and some other things. Just being mean and a jerk. And over there, we have Hondra. Hondra, she's the goddess... Oh, interesting that she's not with Abaddon, because I think she was in love with him. Ondra, she's the goddess of the sea, and there's other things. I don't actually remember what Ondra stands for. Forgotten things, that's right, of course. She forgets things. So this is very much sort of killing. This is death, but in the sort of cycle, I think. I think Bereth, it's cycles. Cycles and doorways and mortality. So I think Bereth asked me to not kill his soul. I think it was to return it to the wheel, so he can handle Theos Ixarcanon. And Abaddon over here, and Magron's trials and all that sort of stuff. Now, I have a note over here that proposed a relationship between the gods about a thing that I saw before, and I don't remember. Could Theos be behind Waidwen's invasion? I don't think we ever found that out. I don't think so. And Boudica and Skane. So Skane... Let's start with Skane, because I think Skane might have a relationship with Boudica. But they're not. They're the opposite. Because Skane is of vengeance. Boudica is Skane is the god of vengeance. Boudica is the goddess of justice. So they're very different. In the nearby constellation, you make out the shape of a strange horned beast, who is Rimergander. From the time from time to time, you think you sense a faint chill emanating from the shrine itself. And we're praying to Rimengarn. Okay, so we can't pray to the other ones. You kneel before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. Oh, crap. I'm gonna need to read the books, ain't I? Crap. Okay, let's read the books. So. Final Journal of... No, that's not Rimergrand. Except from the Sermon of Struggle. Is that Rimergrand? No, Struggle would probably be Magran, yeah. The Euthasian Prayers. Daily Affirmations that focus on efficiency. Is that Rimergrand or... Abidon, yeah. So efficiency, of course. Club of Refined and Prestigious Gentlemen. Galvin Regde. What is that? It's stories of other things. Rimden means space in Swedish, and it's pretty close to Rimergrand. It is. It's interesting. Psalm to Woodica. Secret correspondences. This is tricky. Enigmatic God of Cold. No, there is. Yeah, there is. Okay, so we have this book. Does it say? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's easier than I'm making it out to be. Let's save Scum, because it doesn't really matter. Challenge and all that. Okay, pray to Rimergrand. All things can be reforged. That's Abidon. Yeah, it's easier. It's just understanding the gods then. Okay, so there is life in death and death in life. That's Barath. Survival begins with strength from within. That's Galawain. Leave every note of life's song. That's probably Hylia. She also, I think, yeah. Struggle is the fundamental of nature. That's Magran. I sing of the ocean's sorrow so that I may forget my own. I think that is a... Is that one of the lines from the song of Ondra? It makes sense that it would be Ondra, of course. I don't have the Song of Ondra written over here, though. No. All life ends in stillness. That would be Rimergander. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. That is Whale. What is an answer without a question? That is... No, that is Whale. This is the other one. Skane. Yeah. When Woodica takes back her throne, all wrongs shall be righted. That is the goddess of justice. That's Woodica. Let's go with... Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. Your words seem to fade once voiced, as if they were cast into a vast emptiness. The hall grows steadily still and silent, and then the ground starts to tremble beneath your feet. I think we've brought Skane... Oh, what? He didn't like me? Should be okay. What are they immune to? Piercing. Oh, that's not gonna be okay. Cha-cha-cha! Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha!
Hey, that didn't work!
It's gonna work. Just kill them all. And I'll also make sure that this applies there. That worked. AI does the trick. So Skane doesn't like me. Why? I killed his priests.
Die!
Sort of killed his priests, and he wasn't a big fan of that.
What?
I'm ready.
Well, you know,
At once.
that's fine. Maybe it's just the wrong god. I'm pretty sure. Apparently, I didn't need to make a choice here. Who didn't like you? Skane, the god of vengeance. You kneel and close your eyes as you pray. The blackness fades to white, and a howling wind fills your ears. The vision that slowly resolves itself is of a broad, frozen plain. This is the god of entropy, ladies and gentlemen. You see a procession of elves in the distance, periodically fading into and emerging from the whiteness. They trudge over snow banks, their heads down against the driving winds. I know this place. This is the Whited Wen, says Zagani. She's from there. Or sort of. She is from there. As they trek past you, one man bundled in furs turns his head. You headed for Noon Frost and the Frost-hewn breach too? Before you can answer, he's lumbered ahead. You follow the caravan, and in a couple of minutes, you come to a wall of ice. It appears into the pale emptiness overhead and stretches as far as you can see in either direction. The elves stop in front of a mirror-smooth section that is framed like a temple door. It seems somehow thinner than the rest of the wall. You can't see what's on the other side, but a debilitating cold emanates from within. The elves pull pickaxes and shovels from their sealskin packs and begin hacking at the smooth ice, their implements flying through the air in a swift, shining arcs. Though they throw their bodies into their labor, not one of them as much as scratches the polished ice. Yet, with each blow, something bellows in the distance. Whatever that is, it's huge and angry, says Sagani, and she squints into the whiteout, and it's coming our way. Adair calls out to the elves, "Hey, you might want to hold off on that," but that howling wind seems to swallow up his voice. Palagina's head whips around to see where the bellowing is coming from. "Forget about the elves. We need to be ready to move." She turns again to face you, flexing her hands in the cold air. "Or fight." The elves hack away, seemingly oblivious to the furious slowing and to the tremors under your feet. The snow has risen to your knees. Your legs feel frozen in the drifts. I'm gonna wait. You watch as the elves continue to work at the ice. They pay no heed to the rumbling roar of the numbing wind. Their movements, however, gradually slow. Yeah, that's why I waited. They labor at the ice with hard-curiously sluggish movements until they finally freeze in place, some mid-swing and others preparing for the next blow. You touch the elf nearest to you, and he crumbles into a mound of snow. A final gale blows past, scattering the remains of the elves in a chaotic flurry. You notice a single spiderweb crack in the smooth barrier. It's the only thing that mars the perfect surface of the ice. Whatever's on the other side of the strange doorway, you feel it tugging at you. Only when you look back and see the parallel gashes trailing behind your legs in the snow do you realize how long its pull is.
My end comes to all things in time. Seal the frost-hewn breach and instruct the pilgrims in the patience of Remergond.
This is Remergard talking. And, yeah. I'm gonna plug the hole with a handful of snow. You fill your hand with snow and shove it into the crack. It hardens instantly, and a hoary rime grows over the smooth surface of the frozen doorway, fusing it with the rest of the wall. When you take your hand away, a perfect crystal of ice remains in your palm. And as you examine the crystal, the vision around you fades, but the unmelting shard of ice remains in your hand. Now, that is a mission that we're going to do. There's a place here. We actually got a new quest, Into the White Void. There's a place here where with a similar thing to what we just saw, and that shard of ice is going to be the quest, is going to be the thing, the key to finish that quest. So we need to do quests for these guys, and then by doing that, we actually get the help of each god. So let's see what Bereth here wants. In the glittering stars of the nearby constellation, you see the grim shape of a skull. Its jaws are open wide, as if frozen in a silent scream. Okay, this is Bereth, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say what he is. There is life in death and death in life. There is a rippling shift in the air around you, as if someone felt wind has changed, bringing unexpected warmth. You feel the peculiar weight of an unseen presence, and of eyes upon you. You kneel and pray to Bereth. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in a clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon to your left, only to rise on your right. You try to make out the details on either side of the road, but your eyes can seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blackened with mist, and another sheer canyon wall. Just for an instant, you see waves lapping at the edges of the road. Were you to step into the shifting sands, you feel certain you would only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet, and the night air cool on your face. You are walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Something looms ahead of you,